Rhyming episode 32. Just because you rhyme doesn't make you an artist. I try my best to have quality MCs on here. And we got a returning guest. He's got the golden ticket, Shottie 305. He's got his new album, Nothing Changed Except Everything, produced by UK legend Farma Beats, or Farma-g, as he used to be called. I'm going to invite him. Hang on. Black Beethoven, Blazy Green, Antonio Sanchez, thank you for joining. We should have Shottie coming on any moment. How's everyone's night? There he is. All right. Peace, Shottie. Let me invite. Try and get you on the live. Can you request to get on the live, Shottie? Goat shit. Precisely. Some technical difficulties, folks. As is life on IG Live. Weird, man. Stand by. Shottie, there he is. Peace, Shottie. How are you, man?
Brother?
Not much,
good,
bro. Same old. I'd like to tell a different story, man. Just long days of work and family, man.
That's what it's about, though, right?
Yeah.
That's what it's about, man.
Yeah. You know, doing better than most. I can't complain. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. How was your day?
I'm just locking up the store now. You know what I'm saying? Just finished a 10-hour day of work. 11 hours because I went to the wholesaler before this.
Yeah.
So yeah, man. Long days.
Did you write any bars in between all that? I know you write at the shop. So
did I write bars today? Not yet.
Not today.
I didn't write no bars today. No.
Cool, man.
Yeah.
So I want to give you a bit of an introduction. Look, this is your third or fourth time on my platform. We're homies at this point. But the reason I have you on so much, besides that, is of your incredible talent. I always like to give H credit for putting me on to you and your music. Yeah, I've been following you for the last year and a half, man, and you're just putting out quality project after quality project, repping the Miami underground hip hop scene. Your buzz is growing. I know that. I want to kind of get into that. I want to slowly peel back the layers in the conversation. But yeah, it's Shottie 305, premier lyricist, wordsmith out of Miami. So yeah.
I appreciate that. I feel like this is becoming like a series now.
Yeah.
Like every few months or whatever, we check in and shit. And what's cool about it, I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. What's cool about it is, I remember I told you a few weeks back, I was watching the first episode we did, right? And like, if you follow along throughout the episodes, you can see the progression in both of our endeavors. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So it's kind of cool to see.
Yeah, you were on episode 6, I think. So we're at 32. That was June 11th, 2022, bro. Like, that's a while ago, but not that long ago. I feel like a lot has transpired in a short period of time for you in particular, man. But yeah, I didn't even have a background. It was like, it looked pretty ghetto in my setup, man. So yeah. So wanted to ask you, I think you had your album release party. So you just put out an album, Nothing Changed Except Everything, produced entirely by Farma Beats, a real legend out of the UK. That's a real legend. You know what I mean? I did my homework on him. He definitely started up the underground UK hip hop scene, from what I put together, which we're going to get into. But I wanted to ask you, when was your album release party again, and how was the vibe? How was the reception?
Yeah, the release party was, I want to say it was last weekend on Friday
Yeah,
or the weekend before that. Um, Bro, I mean, look, I feel like a broken record, but every time I do one of these listening
right.
parties, I'm surprised by the amount of people that show up.
Yeah,
And every time it's more people than the last. So it was the
yeah,
same thing this time, you know what I mean? I planned for, I'll be honest with you, I planned for like 50 people to be there,
right,
and we hit like 70 at one point. You know what
right.
I'm saying? And
Yeah,
like that for a listening party in a recording studio, that's pretty packed. You know what I'm saying? This ain't like
yeah.
at a venue at a club and shit like that. So, you know, we had damn near 70 people
Holy
running
shit.
around that bitch. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's dope. Were your kids there? I thought I
Yeah,
saw a clip of like some kids there. Were they
yeah,
there for the whole thing or?
yeah. Pretty much. That's
Yeah,
what I tell a couple of people. Like, dang, you brought the kids. I was like, hey, this is a family business.
yeah, yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah. What,
saying?
what,
This is a
what,
family business, man.
what was that a first to bring your kids out to?
Yes, that was a
So
first.
how did they like it? What was the
They've
feedback?
they've they've flirted with the idea a couple times. Like there was one of the Crazy Hood shows, since it was like a festival kind of thing, outdoors
Right,
and shit. I
right,
gave them the choice. Oh, you guys
right.
want to come? You know, you guys can come.
Yeah,
And they kind of like backed out last minute, you know, because they got a little intimidated, maybe. You know what I mean? But yeah, they came through this time. It was
that's
great.
dope,
You
man.
know,
That's awesome,
yeah.
man.
Had them selling merch.
Oh yeah,
Hell
that's a good tactic, man.
yeah.
Can't say no to a little
You feel
kid
me?
selling merch, right?
Yeah. You feel me?
Um, so I think I want to give a bit of your backstory, man, because I think your story is kind of like a comeback story, to be honest with you, and I'm not sure everyone knows. Um, so, and I'll start by saying this. You know, I've interviewed Art Marrera, one of your, I guess, homies in the scene, so to speak, or
Word.
contemporaries who maybe started up around the time of you or maybe a bit later. And I asked him, in my interview, what does Shottie mean to the Miami hip hop scene? And he said, Shottie is the hope. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? And he was reciting your bars. I don't know from how long ago. Maybe you could tell me. Was it 10 years ago, 20
Uh,
years ago?
Probably 20. Probably closer to
20.
20. Yeah. If it's what I'm thinking about, it's probably some ID4 shit. Yeah.
Yeah. So, how does that feel to have someone that remembers your shit from 20 years ago, bro? First of
That's
all.
crazy. No, that never stops being crazy, especially when it's coming from a guy like Art Marrera. You know what I mean? Like when
Yeah.
I wasn't doing the shit,
Yeah.
you know, Mowgli, Art Marrera, Orion, like these guys were keeping DU Ivan,
Yeah.
these guys were keeping the scene going when I wasn't doing it. You know what I'm saying? So like that was a big inspiration to me coming back. So like it all pays itself back full circle. You
Yeah.
get what I'm saying? Like it's
Yeah.
a revolution. Like if I inspired them, they definitely inspired me. You know what I'm saying?
So can you kind of explain to us where you left off in the scene, kind of where you were at when you initially kind of left? Because I know you came back, but where did you leave off, would you say? Like, how would you explain it? And when was that?
I left I left Miami to I went to New York. I moved to New York in like 2011, right? And I
Right,
was there till about 2014.
right,
And for most of that time, I was still pursuing the music pretty heavy. So
right.
like, you know, I wasn't as plugged into the Miami hip hop scene because I had kind of like integrated into the Brooklyn hip hop scene, and that's really where I was like running around, you know, the same way I run around the Miami scene now. You know, I had a bunch of there was a bunch of Brooklyn acts and people like that I was fucking with at the time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
But yeah, I think like around 2014, I kind of just like fell out of love for whatever reasons. You know what I'm saying? I still kind of try to figure it out in my head. Like, why did I stop? I'm not
yeah,
sure why I did. You know what I'm saying? I still haven't really, I think, hit that answer yet. But that was probably around 2014. And, you know, I felt like it didn't even make a ripple. Like me stopping of making music, like, you know what I'm saying, like was a little bit of an ego check to me because the scene just kept going.
yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? So it
Well,
was like, okay, I guess I wasn't that big of a deal.
no,
You
but
know what I'm saying?
let's be realistic. Like, if I stop doing this show right now, bro, within 3 weeks, everyone would forget, right? The amount of work you got to
Mm-hmm.
put in just to have your name mean something is like tremendous. You know what I'm saying? That's just reality, I think, in music. You know what I mean? Like,
Right. But you know,
so
when you do this rap shit, especially, it's so egocentric. Sometimes you think you're like the center of the world.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like I think I needed that reality check in a sense.
I,
Like, bro, you ain't that important. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody's like, you know, the world goes on without you. It ain't that serious, you know?
I just want to take a pause for a second, and we'll get back to it. But Vega 7, I'm interviewing him February 13th. He just came in. He's like, Shottie fire. Bro, I planted the seed for you guys to collab. That would be an amazing thing for me to see as a fan. I'm going to leave it there. I'm just planting seeds. That's all I'm doing. And we'll keep the conversation moving. That's all.
Vega's a Jedi, bro. That'd be
Yeah,
dope. That'd be dope.
legitimate. So, but in terms of recognition, like how far would you say? Because, you've told me your goal is to not take over Miami, but your goal is to like climb to the top of the Miami scene, right? So how far did you get last time? Like in terms of recognition, people knowing you, and how would you describe that?
Not even close. Yeah,
Gotcha. Okay.
yeah, not even close. I think there's people that knew what I did, but even like when I came back this time around, right? Like like the impetus to me coming back was the podcast that I had, right?
Yeah.
And I came back. I did that podcast and shit. I still wasn't making music, but I was interviewing a lot of like local Miami dudes, and a lot of these guys had no idea who I was. Like
Yeah.
Tetris, you know what I'm saying? Choco Valens. These
Yeah.
dudes had no idea that they just thought I was Dre the podcaster.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And
So like
I'm. Oh, go ahead.
that's
Sorry.
another thing that told me like, all right, bro, like you didn't make nearly as big of a splash as you thought you did. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And kind of put the battery in my back. You wonder why I'm dropping fucking 3-4 albums a year, bro. It's like I feel like I got a lot of shit to prove. You know what I'm saying? To myself and to a lot of people. You feel me?
Yeah, man. Yeah. So within that, by the way, I'm from Toronto, in case for those that don't know, but I'm way more tapped into the Miami scene than I should be, largely because I've talked to Shottie so many times and I follow all the dudes he's been talking about, exchanging with them, etc. But I want to ask you, back in the day, who was it? Did anyone give you a break, kind of to get your name out there a little bit?
I've said this before. It was always EFN. You know what I'm saying? Like EFN
Right.
put like the first time that anybody ever put me on a mixtape was EFN. And when I
Right.
handed them the tape, like I handed them the actual CD. I went to the Crazy Hood. Used to have a store on
Right.
Bird Road called Crazy Goods. And I walked in there not knowing who he was, and I fucking handed him the CD, and the motherfucker put it on the on his mixtape. You know what I'm saying? It was a
Right. Right.
freestyle
Right.
that we had done custom for EFN, but he didn't know me from a fucking hole in the wall, bro. And he put us on the mixtape, you know? So that
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
one. I think the first like MC that was established that showed me love was Dynaz, to be completely honest.
Dinaz.
Yeah,
I
yeah. I don't
think
know
I
if you
follow him. I
yeah,
think I follow him too,
yeah,
actually.
legendary MC from the crib, you know what I mean? But he was the first one that like was like, yo, bro, you're fucking nice. You know what I'm saying? And he was
Right.
like one of the cats that was doing it way before me. So
Yeah.
that shit meant something to me. You know what I'm saying?
So I'm going to take a moment to quote a bar or a couple of bars from your new album, Nothing Changed Except Everything. This is the closing track. By the way, the intro, outro, picture perfect intro and outro, cinematic. But I'll quote these bars. I had to embrace some losses and had to escape the office and started a new career path when no one was making offers. When family don't approve, it makes it awkward. Then it becomes a test of will, but I guess you got to demolish before you get to build, and that's real. So I think that's a good transition to where we are now, right? More or less.
Yeah, man. Real life bars. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah,
Yeah. You asked me one time, like, do you ever feel like you're gonna run out of shit to say? And
right.
it's like, bro, as long as I'm living life, and as long as I'm being honest about it in my raps, then how can you run out of shit to say? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Life
yeah.
never stops, bro. Life is always coming at you, and you just gotta have your eyes open. You feel me?
And I hate to, I had my time as an artist. I write bars here and there, but I hate to dictate what people should do and think. But I think one of the most important things if you're going to pursue this shit is, are you the type of person that doesn't run out of shit to say?
Mm.
Because you got to put out a shitload of material these days,
Yeah.
man. Just to keep your name out there,
Look, man,
So
I own a retail store, and I
right,
work the fucking store. I talk to hundreds of people every week, bro. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
So like,
you got
I
stories,
always got shit to say.
right,
I
right.
always got shit to say, bro.
Gotcha. So when you started back up, was that during COVID? Like a lot of MCs came back during COVID, or was that before COVID? Like when you started back up?
Yeah, yeah. I think it was during COVID, but like towards the tail end of 2020.
Tail end of
It was
2020?
like the tail end of 2020 when I started writing rhymes, and Tev started presenting me with these beats that he was making, because Tev has stopped too for a while, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And he started
So
presenting me like some of these loops that he had and shit like that, and that, like when I really started getting back into it was like the end of 2020 for sure.
so COVID was the culprit? Is that fair to say?
Uh, I don't know, bro. That's hard for me to
Right.
say, you know. I don't know. I don't think
Right.
so. Honestly, I don't think so. Maybe by proxy, because COVID was probably the culprit to the Kendall Hialeah battle that happened. There was a Kendall Hialeah battle, you know what I'm saying,
Yeah.
that happened back in at the end of 2020.
Yeah.
Maybe COVID was the culprit for that happening, you know what I'm
Okay.
saying? But I
Gotcha.
think that more directly was what inspired me, that
Okay. Okay.
battle, you know what I'm saying?
I just want to make sure for those just learning about Shottie, though, he's not one of these MCs that just came back during COVID loosely, you know what I mean? Just to get that feeling back. He's working, man, and we're gonna get into it, man. So I want to talk about some of your progress, and I think this is a huge milestone for any MC. But from what I understand, you're now collecting fees for your verses, for your features. How does that feel, man, to get to this point?
Bro, anytime someone's willing to pay you for you to do what you love to do, like, bro, it
Yeah,
doesn't get better than that. You know what I mean? And that's I want to keep chasing that feeling. You know what I'm
right.
saying? That's what I want to model my life after. But even, it's starting to happen, and the little seeds being planted is a fucking blessing,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah. And I remember talking to you, and you're like, I think you got like two or three features in like a couple weeks, like
Hmm.
for one, just like in a couple weeks. I remember I'm like, that's fucking dope, man.
Yeah, it's
Um,
beautiful, bro. It's beautiful, Like
what?
I actually bought groceries with rap money. You know what I'm saying? I was like,
That's
okay, that's
incredible.
cool. You know what I mean?
That's
Yeah.
incredible, bro. So you know what? I think a lot of MCs don't even get to that point, and they would aspire to, man. What advice would you give, man? When is it time to say, you know what? It's time for you to pay me for my work. When is it time?
It's you know what? It's like you gotta keep your eyes open, and I feel like you'll know when it's time. You know what I mean?
Right.
The time is different for everyone, but once it starts feeling like once it starts feeling like there's a real value to your work, and you're starting to add value to other people's work,
Yeah.
then maybe it's time to start charging. You know what I'm saying? What do they say in Batman? It's like, if you're good at something, never do it for free.
Right. Right.
uh, you know and look, all of us as artists, like, we do this free shit for years and years and years and years,
Absolutely.
and it's love.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I
Yeah.
love doing this rap shit. I love collaborating with people. You know what I'm saying? So like we tend to maybe do it for free longer than we
Right.
should. You know what I mean? But
Right.
the love just
Yeah.
keeps you doing it. But at some point, bro, you know what I mean? Bro, I have kids.
Yeah.
I have kids.
Yeah.
I have a wife. I have a business. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Absolutely.
something's got to give, bro.
I,
You know what I'm saying?
I saw Mowgli put up that post. He's like, "Yo, no more free verses. It's over. It was fun."
Yeah,
I was very happy to see that, man. To
I
be
was happy
honest.
to
So
see it too, man. If anybody deserves that shit, it's Mowgli. You know?
yeah, yeah, absolutely. So moving along, I know you. I mean, you opened for Conway in Miami a while back. Now you also opened for Cormega recently. How are these events coming together for you? Like, how are these opportunities popping up? We're gonna get into more stuff, but I thought I'd
DJ
start with all.
Heron, DJ Heron, man, the God. You know what I'm saying? Like, honestly, bro, I gotta tip my cap to that brother right there too, man. You know what I'm saying? DJ EFN and DJ Heron have done a lot for me. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And my thing is, you know, I never ask for anything, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I don't ask for anything. I put my head down. I work. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like blessings come as a result of that, you know.
Yeah.
And these guys like Heron and EFN and all these guys at that level, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, bro, you know, it don't matter how nice you are on the mic, man. You need to be dependable. They
Yeah.
need to know that they're dealing with somebody that's gonna be there and that's gonna continue to work.
Yeah.
Anybody could drop a couple dope verses, bro.
Yeah.
But this shit, like staying, like having people's attention and keeping it goes a lot deeper than just dropping dope verses, man. It's a whole strategy behind it. You got to be consistent. You have to be persistent. You know what I mean? Like, so yeah, you got to be willing to go the long haul. You know what I'm saying? To go the long route, and not everybody is, bro. Not everybody is.
Yeah.
A lot of times that work ethic is opposite of the traits of an artist. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, some artists are like fucking hippies about the shit and, you know, I'll work when I'm inspired and all that shit. You got to find that balance, man, because this shit is an art, but it's a business too.
Yeah. Part of what I think makes us homies friends is I've actually learned from you, man. Like, all right, don't ask for shit. Put your head down and do the work. You know what I'm saying? So even observing you, you know, I put the pen down, but observing you, I find things that I could be doing sort of in this artistic sphere, man. So yeah, man.
Bro, like we're all over here trying to figure this out, man. In the microcosm of hip hop, but in the macro of life also, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like you talk to enough people from enough professions and you realize, like, bro, none of us know shit, dude.
Yeah.
We're all over here trying to figure shit out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, like, bro, if I can impart any knowledge on anyone, then why be greedy with that shit? You know what I'm saying?
When's the Cormega footage coming up of you performing? Because to me, I think you got the talent, the skill set of a great. I've been saying that you're one of my favorite MCs, period. I don't say like my favorite underground, my favorite on Instagram. I say period, man. Like I want to see you performing, you know, alongside Cormega, man. Like, when's that footage coming out, man?
Well, we didn't perform alongside.
No, not alongside, but you know what I'm saying, right? Like,
yeah. That shit was fire, bro. That shit was fire, and the show we did at the Crazy Hood Festival was fucking crazy too. You know what I mean? Like, we ended the year off in a very positive way with those shows. Yeah, man. Like I said, bro, blessed. You know what I mean?
So you were one of the headlining MCs, right? One of two. 30th. Oh man, 1 second. At the 30th anniversary party for Crazy Hood, right?
On the main stage, it was King Tetris, then it was me, and then it was Mother Superior. Mother Superior is like the epitome of what you call, bro. I don't like to throw the word legend around loosely.
Yeah.
Mother Superior definitely fits
for real.
The bill. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah. So she was like doing it in the 90s.
Yeah.
Repping Miami with like the boom bap shit when that shit was non-existent. You know what I mean? She got records produced by Redman. She got records with Jizza. Like, bro, legendary shit. You know what I mean? I was listening to Mother Superior when I was in high school type shit. So
I don't like to assume what everyone knows. You know what I mean? But Crazy Hood, that's EFN's crew in Miami.
That's EFN's crew. Yeah.
Can you tell people one more time, just for me, or we know what EFN means to Miami. What does Crazy Hood mean to Miami? Can you frame that for us?
It's synonymous, man. Like, you know, anybody that like the country and the world knows EFN from Drink Champs. Yeah. If you're from Miami, you know EFN from Crazy Hood.
Right.
Like they were since the mixtape days. You know what I mean? They had the store, Crazy Goods. They always threw events. They were always known. And the cool thing about them, bro, is that the same faces that were in Crazy Hood back then are the same guys that it is today, bro. Like these dudes like promoted unity without even knowing it. You know what I'm saying? Just by sticking together. I think Garcia's in the room right now. Garcia's one of the homies from Crazy Hood. You know what I mean? Yeah, bro. It's just like, dude, they got the key to the city. The fucking mayor him the key to the city. Like,
Wow.
you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, you don't
Yeah.
need me to see you. You don't need Shottie to say it. The mayor
Yeah.
said it. You feel me?
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, man, Crazy Hood is bro. In Miami hip hop lore, I think they gotta go down as probably the goats of this, especially this like boom bap shit, because that's
Yeah.
the shit that EFN's always pushed.
Hmm.
Really, you know what I'm saying? It's like, bro, that boom bap shit. If you wanted that shit in Miami in the '90s, you had to get the EFN mixtapes. That's always been a fact. And even like the artists that fucked with Crazy Hood, Garcia, uh, Heckler, like the all, it was more that East Coast boom bap style.
Yeah.
So again, bro, it's like they made that sound okay, and they're from Kendall. All them fools went to my high school. You know what I'm saying? And they're from
Right.
Kendall. So it's like for
Right.
me, that's an extra layer.
Dope. Yeah, I think. Well, so let me ask you. You post clips, like I've seen you post a bunch of clips of you like going to his office or some shit, like playing your
Mm-hmm.
music. I saw a clip with like MC Search or something. I just want to. So, what's your relationship with EFN these days? Like, how do you guys connect?
That's the homies, man. It's the same respect that it's always been. You know what I mean?
Right.
I just happen to be working particularly hard at this hip hop shit right now. You know what I'm saying? So you know we've been connecting on shit.
Dope.
But yeah, bro. They've always been the homies. I've always had love for those guys, and you know there's always a reciprocation of positive energy and shit, man. So that's basically what it
And
is.
for you to be invited to headline, now, when you were out there performing, like, what was the reception like? How do you gauge like the crowd's recognition of
That
you, your
was
music?
my favorite
What?
show of the year, bro. That was my favorite show of the year. I'm not gonna front. You know what I mean? I did some dope shows last year, but that was my favorite one just because it was at the end of the year, because it was celebrating 30 years of Crazy Hood. They had just got the keys to Kendall. Then it's like the whole fucking city was there, bro. So yeah, that was my favorite show. That shit was dope.
Nice. What did the crowd recognize you? Like, are you at the point where people like, oh, yo, that Shottie, yo, Shottie, I listen to your music, things like that?
There was love, man, for sure.
That's
There was definitely
dope,
love.
man.
Yeah.
That's dope, man. Um, yeah, man. So beyond that, I saw you had a show at Art Basel. You got to pardon my Canadian ass. Like I wasn't familiar with that event.
Basil.
Basel, there you go, Basel. You see, there you go. So that is that an event known across the states? Like people come out for that, or
Yeah, definitely. It's a big like art gathering, you know what I'm saying? And there's like people set up like impromptu galleries and a bunch of different stores. Mainly it's in Wynwood, but there's art
right?
galleries everywhere. People come from all over the country. It first started as like a thing. It was really like everything else, you know what I'm saying? It used to be all about the art, and now it's like a cool thing to do, you know
Gotcha.
what I'm saying? So now it's like music is all involved in it now, and a bunch of shit. But it's dope, man. Look, Miami. One thing about Miami, right? Since we're kind of a vacation
Yeah,
city, we
yeah,
always got that one event that brings everybody to the city. Like there's always, it used to be
yeah.
Ultra. Like Ultra still happens, but now Art Basil's the main shit. You know what I mean? Before that, it was something else. Like there's always something that brings people to the city. So it's a matter of how you play that hand and how you capitalize on it. So it was dope that we were able to have a presence at Art Basel this
Who
year
were
and
you?
last year.
Who were you opening under again? I forgot the name, man. I like the name of it. I forgot. It's
Uh,
I don't know if you're opening, but
Freddie Gibbs.
Freddie Gibbs. That's
Freddie
crazy,
Gibbs.
man.
Yeah,
Yeah, man.
yeah, man. That show
That's
was
fire.
lit. That shit
Right.
was lit.
That's dope, man. Fire. So want to talk about some moves I'm privy to because we speak. You know what I'm saying? But let's talk about international shit, man. I felt like we need to have an international segment right now. I want to talk about Farma for a second. So he fully produced the new album, Nothing Changed Except Everything. Right now, he's known more for producing for the likes of Ill Bill, Vinny Paz, Conway, Rome Streets, more. How did you guys connect? How did that come together?
I think I hit him up on some random shit, bro. That was like it just so happened that he was familiar with my work. And this
Right.
was early in my shit. I have no idea how, bro. But this
Right.
was early when I was still, I don't even think Goat Farm was out, or maybe Goat Farm had just come out. But somehow he was familiar with my work and was like super receptive, you know what I'm saying? And he was like, and he suggested, yo, let's do a project,
Wow.
which I was like, damn, I wasn't even gonna ask all that, but shit, I jumped on that shit right away, you know what I mean? And the thing about Farma is like, before I was aware of a lot of this underground hip hop, like I didn't know about a lot of this shit, right? But
Right.
I knew about Farma. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like he
You
was a
did.
name that I already knew about.
Right.
Yeah, because
Right.
of Rome Streets. I knew he had those
Yeah.
albums with Rome Streets, and you know I was already a fan. So imagine, you know what I mean? Like getting to work with somebody like that, I was like, bro, let's get it.
I think the cool thing is like you were telling me, yo, he's a certified like legend in the UK. So I started doing my research. So he was part of a group called Task Force. He went by Farma-g. He was an MC before a producer. I don't think everyone knows that, with his brother Chester P. But the funny thing is in the early 2000s, I was digging through music online. Like I went heavy looking for underground shit, and I was tapping into the UK hip hop scene back then. So I know artists like Jest, which he's worked with, Kalashnikov from way back then. But it's pretty crazy that he was part of that whole scene, man. So I just brushed up a bit on my knowledge there. It's pretty interesting, man.
Yeah, so
So
you were already aware, or at least by proxy. You know what I mean?
yeah, I'm pretty sure I came across his music back then for sure. The Task Force sounds familiar. Yeah, man.
Yeah, and they got fire shit. So I reverse engineered my knowledge on that too, because I knew him as a producer.
Yeah,
And then I realized, I was like, oh, this dude is a legendary MC
yeah,
too. Like, you know,
yeah,
fuck,
yeah,
layers on
yeah.
layers.
Yeah. That's what makes him a legend, right? Is the MC part. Well, first and foremost, right?
Facts. Yeah.
So beyond that, I see you putting out some collabs with Ace and Eastwood from Toronto. Any clue how that came together? Well,
With
you
what?
tell me how
With
how
Ason?
that. Yeah, yeah,
Bro, I want to say it was through DJ Merciless. Shout out
right.
to DJ Merciless. You know what I'm saying? He works closely with Ason,
Right.
and he might have been bumping my shit, and Ason heard it and shot to Ason, man. Cause like, bro, look, a dude of his skill set and his stature,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? For that dude to just like hit me up and be like, bro, like super quick, bro, let's work on something. You know what I'm saying? I love what you do,
Right.
bro. There was no ego in that shit, none whatsoever. And you know what's crazy, bro? That like, so I was already a little more hip to like the underground hip hop shit at that point.
Right.
So you know, I had done like some playlists on Spotify and shit like that. Like, bro, I had A-Sun on my playlist on Spotify. Like, I was bumping this guy's music every day at the fucking smoke shop.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Not even knowing, like, I didn't even connect the name with the voice. I knew the songs though. You feel me?
Yeah.
And then like I worked with him and shit like that. And bro, we've done mad work since. We've done like maybe 5-6 songs at this point.
Right.
But then realizing like, bro, I've been listening to this guy already for the past year and shit, man. So, bro, it's super dope, man.
That's dope.
Life is
When I was
cool, and hip hop is super dope,
I,
man.
about 10 years ago, I was putting out a bunch of mixtapes. I was on websites like Hip Hop Canada, like following them. I'm not gonna say I was anywhere in the stratosphere of Asen, but he was a grinder back then, bro. And
You can
he's
see
been
it.
at it, bro. In
You can
Toronto,
see it,
man.
bro.
Like,
That's
bro.
I think that's why I think we're like minded in a lot of ways, man. Because
Right.
one thing I see with him is he puts in work into developing his hometown. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? And I'm
Yeah.
of the same mind. And you don't see that with a lot of like the underground cats, bro. So I think we're similar in some ways. You know what I mean?
So you guys got a couple of tracks in the works. Any projects? Anything more that you guys? Oh, gotcha.
Well, you know,
Gotcha.
we'll revisit that at some point. I
Gotcha.
can neither confirm nor deny
Gotcha.
these allegations, sir.
Dope. Dope. So when you coming to Toronto, bro?
Hopefully sooner than later. That's
Yeah,
on
man.
the bulletin board for 2024. I really want to do that.
Dope, man. Dope. We'll definitely hang out, man. Take you out for a night on the town for sure.
Yes, sir.
Uh, So you collab with Jay Roberts, Paid in Full. That track, honestly, I think that was one of your best collabs. I know it got a lot of play on Shade 45. Dope. What's Vega saying? Vega actually was saying, how the fuck does this guy know about Jest and Kalashnikov, man? Bro, I have a lot of like blackout periods with hip hop where I wasn't following shit, but I go heavy for like a bunch of years at a time. You're catching me right now in a period where I'm going heavy, like mapping everything out. So yeah. Yeah, man. And then I know that you're also you're connected with Machacha as well. Is
Yeah,
that
yeah,
right?
man. Where do you get all this information, bro?
Bro, come on. You know what? I'm gonna stop.
You're like
I'm gonna stop there, man.
Nardwar and shit.
That'd be the last one right there, man.
Nah, I'm doing some shit with Machacha, and I'm doing some shit with Flute, and I'm always doing shit with Tev. So I'm working on a lot of things this year, man.
So yeah, I was gonna ask, when is the next one with Tev happening, man?
Because me and Tev
yeah,
are just always making songs. It's a matter of just like not putting them out. Because we put out a bunch of songs last year, even after Go Farm. You know what I mean? With Mic
right.
Check, I think has the best numbers out of all the songs I did last year.
Yeah.
And the A-Sun, the track with A-Sun was a Tev joint too. Like,
so
it's a matter of just like keeping the songs at this point, because we kind of went on a little single binge last year. We're like, fuck the albums, let's do singles. You know what I'm saying? So we put out a bunch of singles and shit. But at some point, you know, we'll sit down and we'll do a proper project.
For sure, man. Yeah, man. I just lost track for a second. Give me a second here. Yeah. So here's one question I want to ask you. You know, I know we were talking, and we're kind of saying the underground hip hop scene, it's kind of dominated from that sound that Rock Marciano kind of pioneered, right? That's a fair statement.
Yeah.
Griselda, shit like that. So I want to say this. I'm loving the underground scene. I think there's there's a lot of tremendously talented dudes. However, when I listen to a bunch of them, sometimes I feel like their sound, the experience overlaps. And I walk away with the same impression. Like, okay, your vocal sounded a bit different, but your content, the backdrop, it kind of feels like the same net effect. So I want to ask you a question. How important is it for you to stand out in the crowd? Is that something that you think about or you know, actively try and do? Or like, how do you feel about what I just said, and what's your take on it?
Yeah, I think, bro, when anything is successful, it's gonna spawn a bunch of gimmicks. So like, people who saw that like the Griselda sound, you know, works and whatever that means, you know what I'm saying? Like, you could interpret the Griselda sound however you want, because you could interpret it probably in different ways and shit.
Right.
But it's always gonna spawn a bunch of imitations. For me personally, like that's just not my approach to like why I rap. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, bro, I don't need to do this rap shit. So for me, I'm doing this rap shit because I love to do it, and I love everything that comes with it, like with being able to express yourself and shit. And that's kind of like the secret sauce that I've been doing this time around. I feel like I'm just much more honest with my real life, and just like I put a lot more of me on the table.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I couldn't see myself getting caught up in trying to follow what someone else is doing. You know?
Gotcha.
Like, does that happen? Yeah, it does. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
But that's just not what my approach is ever gonna be.
But for the record, and for what it's worth, I do feel like your style, the way you put your rhymes together, just your whole style, there is something different about it that stands out to me. But I thought I'd ask you that question, man. So,
but I don't know that it's like conscious.
Right.
You understand what I'm trying to say? Like, I don't think it's like, oh, I want to sound different. I don't know if that's what it is. I'm just really, I try to strip away all the bullshit, and it's like, you know, all like self-doubt aside, what is it that I want to say, and how do I want to sound to these beats? And this is probably like the rawest form that I've been able to muster out of that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Dope. So in terms of your catalog, I just want to fast forward it we'll get to your new project in a second. So 2021, you released Mosfetch 1 and 2, produced by Tab 95. I guess that's kind of your comeback work, so to speak. I think you and Tab really put together a soundscape that kind of put you in motion personally. 2022, you got Mosfetch 3, produced by Tab, so it's kind of like a series. Sorry, that's 2022. You also had To Kill a Caterpillar. That was your collab project, a 5-track project with Agony. Was that produced by Tev as well? I kind of forgot.
That was half produced by Agony and half produced by me.
Right. Gotcha. Yeah, you produced? Really? I don't know how. Okay, that's still fun.
Yeah. I did half the songs on there, and Agony did the other half.
Do you plan on producing more stuff that you rap over, or?
I think my ultimate goal is at one point I want to produce an album for myself, right. But I think I'm still pretty far away from that, bro, because I'm just not locked into producing right now.
Yeah,
I'm not locked in, and if I get locked in, I feel like I'm going to sacrifice the rap part of it a little bit, and I'm not willing to do that right now, you know?
When I was at it, I was so preoccupied with being dope as an MC, like I can't even fathom tackling both things, man. But yeah, some people can do it, but yeah,
not me.
Well, yeah.
Not me. I can't do both at the same time, you know?
Excel at one thing at a time, right?
Yeah.
So 2023, last year, you had a great year. You dropped Goat Farm, also produced by Tab 95. Stigmatic, that was produced by Digital from France. Then Death Decree last night, that was a whole collective of Miami producers. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Not Miami producers. It was
not Miami.
Exquisite Dope Records. It was kind of their stable, you know what I mean? Shout out to my man Davino. He's got like I don't want to say a stable, but he's got partnerships with a bunch of dope ass producers. You know what I mean?
Right.
And that's
right.
what that was.
So
Davino executive produced that project.
Up to that point, that was my favorite project of yours. I thought it was your best. But it was crazy how that many producers created such a cohesive project. So that was impressive. So 2024, bro, you're starting early. Nothing changed except everything. And I see you going from 2 to 3 projects. Are you picking up the pace here, or what can we expect for 2024? No pressure.
More.
Just asking.
For 2024. More. I'm trying to do what I did last year and scale it, you know what I'm saying? Like times whatever. But yeah, more, bro. There's definitely more in the works. The next album is basically already recorded. That's the joint I'm doing with Lupara, which is actually a crew of producers that includes Farma Beats.
Wow.
But also a bunch of other dope ass producers,
wow.
man, like Bohemia Lynch, Flu,
right.
who I also have a project with, Timepiece, SB11, Hobgoblin, my man Mighty Healthy. Bro, it's a whole, bro, these dudes are all nasty, you know what I mean?
Flu's from Australia, was it?
Yeah.
Bro, I'm loving this international theme for 2024,
yeah.
bro.
Facts.
Get some stamps in your passport, bro.
Facts. That's what it's about.
So I wanted to ask you, do any of your contemporaries inspire you from like an output, work ethic perspective? Any names out there that impress you?
Mowgli, bro. Like I said, it's like, bro, look, I think Mowgli might be the most prolific MC that I know. Mowgli and Salazar. Like, those dudes got rhymes on top of rhymes on top of rhymes. You know what I mean? But Mowgli has never stopped, bro. That can't be ignored. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's never stopped. When I was not doing the rap shit, he was dropping multiple projects a year. And he's been doing that shit. It seems like he's been doing that shit forever, and he's still fire and still consistent. Like, it's crazy, you know? So definitely Mowgli, you know? I think on for the larger hip hop scene, Maze Overlay. I've told you this before. Like, Maze Overlay.
Maze is incredible, man.
Yeah, man. He's like I watch. You know how like Larry Bird would circle Magic Johnson's fucking games on the calendar and shit like that. That's how I feel like I watch Maze Overlay, see what he's doing and see where he's at, and you know what I'm saying? It's a good barometer. So definitely Maze, bro. He's been fucking killing it. Mickey Diamond, come on, dog. Like, you know what I'm saying? What, he dropped like 10 projects last year?
The thing that's crazy about Maze is that he's done his engineering. He writes his rhymes. I don't know about production. Videos, like he largely puts together his videos, and they're a cut
Yeah,
above.
yeah.
Like, I don't know how this dude finds the time,
Yeah,
man.
man.
Just to plug mates
He's
for a second there, man.
one of the goats. Yeah, he's one of the goats. No doubt
Yeah,
about it.
man. So nothing changed except everything. Again, your latest album just dropped a couple weeks ago. By the way, it's out on all streamers now.
Shakespeare, sorry to cut you off. Shakespeare mentioned Art Morera. I mentioned him at the beginning of the interview because that's another one. Him and Mowgli, more than anyone. DU Ivan too. You know what I'm saying? Were like consistently dropping projects when I was on my hiatus. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So Orion too. Orion, What They Do, Serum was killing it out there. Like, bro, the Miami hip hop scene didn't start after Kendall Hialeah, bro. Like, y'all been holding it down
I
for a long, long, long time.
I
You know what I'm saying?
I interviewed Morera Art in December. I've interviewed Mowgli, so I guess some of the best underground MCs out of Miami. But I think his last 4 projects they're fucking works of art. I don't say that lightly, man.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, he's in his own world, man, but it works. The last 4 albums literally to me are works of art. So I definitely see Morera. I recognize Morera's talent personally. So
You know what's
yeah,
cool,
man.
bro, is like seeing like you're a dude from fucking Canada,
Right.
right? Like over here, we've been known that fucking Art Morera's fucking crazy
Yeah.
with it. We've been known that Mowgli is fucking is super nice. We've been known that Agony, like all these guys, you know what I'm saying? But like seeing them get recognized by somebody that's not from the crib is extra sweet. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like that's super dope, bro. I watched the interview that you did with Art. I watched the one that you did with Mowgli too. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like
Yeah.
that's beautiful to me to see that shit. You know?
And it's not like I'm seeing you guys on MTV or fucking, you know what I'm saying, or some big platform, man. I'm just hearing the music. I'm like, all right, this is good. Let me deep dive into this. You know what I'm saying? So just recognizing the music for what it is. So yeah. So your latest project, nothing changes except everything, produced by Farma Beats. By the way, I think this is your best engineered project, to be honest with you.
Word.
Those drums hit, man, different. I would say. Who engineered this?
Farma. He
Oh yeah,
mixed, yeah, produced, mixed, mastered, all that shit.
nice. So the opening track. Just gonna do a quick overview, man. Again, picture perfect opening. You're like, foreign languages, no advantages, spam sandwiches. Just when I thought I was getting the hang of it, my dad vanishes, man. You said this is one of your most personal projects, man, and I thought that kind of set the tone for the album. How does it feel to have a picture of you and your dad out there on a project like this? Because I remember you sent me a couple things you were considering. I'm like, yo, I think the one with your dad, it's not as artistic, but it speaks volumes. So I thought it was dope. You went with it. How does it feel to, you know what I'm saying?
It's dope. I'd be lying if I said it was. It's a little weird. You know what I'm saying? Because I guess that's the art part of it,
Yeah.
right? Like if
Yeah.
you're doing true art, then it should feel a little awkward, bro. You know what I'm saying? So like these are family photos. This is very near
Yeah.
and dear to me, dog.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Like these are family photos that I've had since I was a kid. These are the only memories I have of my dad.
Yeah.
So seeing people share the album, to them they're just sharing the album.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
every time I see it, it's a weird feeling, you know what I'm saying? So like just looking on my timeline, scrolling on the shit and seeing that picture of me and my dad is a weird feeling, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
But I but you know, I waited till the right album to do that shit. Because the last thing I want to do is
Yeah.
exploit, my own fucking tragedies. You
Absolutely.
get what I'm saying? Like I
Yeah.
definitely didn't want to do that. So it's like
Yeah.
I waited, and I'm glad I did. Like I don't feel funny about putting that picture behind this album because I feel like that's what this album is about. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So, but yeah, it's a little weird, but at the end of the day, that's the beauty of art, bro. So
Yeah.
you gotta live with that shit.
I mean, and by the way, you're Dominican born, so when you're talking about getting the hang of it, you're saying moving to the States, I guess moving to New York
Right.
and just settling down with your family, just getting the hang
Foreign
of it. So yeah.
language. I didn't
Yeah.
know. I didn't speak English, bro. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So the next track, Henny Face, I'm just bringing it up because these are some of the slickest bars on the album. I personally love this sequence. You're like, I'm chilling with the box of Cubans, watching Kubrick, wait until my watch a hue glow, and then we'll talk about the hubris, stupid. Just the Kubrick, hubris, hue
Hugo.
glow, bro. I don't know, man. It's just slick, bro. I just love that shit.
Thank
Just
you, man.
mentioning that, man. So, yeah, man. So then you got Vinaigrette with Money Mowgli. You guys both delivered. Number 4 is my personal favorite track, Pintura Roja. Pardon my white ass. How do you
Pintura
pronounce
roja. It means red paint. Yeah.
Right.
Shout out to
Red. Oh,
Prototype. I think Prototype might be in the room, bro. Yeah.
bro.
Prototype transformed that track, man. He turned it into
Bro.
something else.
You got to keep this dude close by, bro. That fucking hook was money, bro.
That's my guy.
Like that track, when it comes on, I loop it like 3-4 times every time.
Fire.
So
fire.
Yeah, man. Just the grit behind the delivery and his verse too, man. And then your part as well. You know what I mean? Simple language is telling immigrant tales. Anyone whose family immigrated can relate to that. You know, my family immigrated here.
Shout
one
to Prototype, because when I sent it to him, I didn't tell him to do a verse on it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So like he put the hook on it and he's like, yo, bro, I think I'm gonna lay a verse on it. Is that cool? And I'm just like, this shit better be fire, bro.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This shit better be fire, dog. And it was, you know what I mean? So nah, man, shout out to Prototype. He definitely took a shot, you know what I mean? And splashed that shit, bro. So big shout. I respect that shit, man.
I'll be honest, just the vibe of that beat, the soundscape, the singing, the vocals, like I can listen to the whole album of that shit, just that kind of shit alone, to be honest with you. So I'm never gonna tap in with Prototype. I'd like to hear more of his music.
Dope.
So Press 2, kind of paying homage to how would you put Press 2? It's kind of a theme song, no? How would you explain Press 2?
Press 2 is something that happened to me in real life that I always told as like an anecdote, like a joke, and then one day it just became a song. You know what I mean? But yeah,
right.
I was, bro. I've told this story before, but I got locked up for some stupid shit. They had me in the paddy wagon. I was the only Hispanic dude in the paddy wagon. It was a bunch of black dudes, right? And
right.
And they're all like, everybody's talking amongst themselves, and I'm kind of not really in the conversation. I'm there, you know what I mean? But they're kind of just talking among themselves, you know what I mean? And one of them is like, man, ain't nothing but brothers in here, always. And the other guy goes, yeah, and one Press 2. And the other guy goes, what's Press 2? He goes, for Spanish, Press 2. And they all look at me. And I was like, oh my God, bro.
Yeah. And you turned that into a whole hook, a whole theme. You told me that was one of the best received songs, like at the release
that was
party.
The best.
Probably because of the Hispanic crowd, would you say?
Yeah, I think like once the punchline of the hook hits the first time, everybody got it immediately. You know what I'm saying? It was a cool like reaction and shit. What's dope is like I ended up in the same cell as homie that said that, and we ended up super cool. You know what I mean? Like me and him were actually in the same cell and shit once we got to the to the fucking jail. Yeah.
That's dope story. So Organized Confusion with Scam 2, also a certified legend out of Miami, right?
Facts.
Baggy Stamp, that shit was fucking mean. Fire track. Allen Houston, Game Winner. Those two tracks, crazy 1-2 combo. Tesla Rockets featuring Fears Blusa. And then Kavorka, I did a quote. That was the closer. Picture Perfect. Look, everyone go cop it on Bandcamp. I personally copped it. Or run it up on Spotify. It's up on Spotify as of today, right?
It is up today, yeah. All streaming platforms.
So, Shottie, I want to tell you this, man. Look, last time we spoke was 6 months ago. Look at what happened in 6 months, bro. 6 fucking months, bro.
Yes, sir.
Like, you know what I'm saying? So, I think this year is going to be your year, man. And I'm looking forward to staying tapped in. You got hella projects on the go, and we're definitely going to be tapped in. It's not going to be the last time we talk, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man.
man, and bro, not to do the whole mutual admiration society here,
Yeah.
but that fucking Mickey Fax interview was huge, bro, for your channel. You know what I'm
Thank you.
saying? And if
Thank
there's
you.
anybody that personifies what art of rhyming is about, bro, it's Mickey Fax. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
like
man.
in so many levels, that was a dope interview for your channel, man. So bro, salute to you. You already know, man. This is like I said, this shit feels like a series at this point,
Yeah,
you
man.
know, where we just keep checking in and shit. But yeah, man, salute to you for just, bro, for being a connoisseur of like the finer points of the fucking art of this shit. You know what I mean? Like that's so important, bro.
Thank you. Thank you, man. Appreciate that. So, any final words, any last kind of things you want to leave us with before we depart?
Bro, shout out to everybody in the room. Um, Go listen to that album, and then when you're done, listen to it again. You know what I'm saying? I promise you, it's like I don't think I went for like the fast thrills on this one. I think I went for a more like a prolonged listening experience. So I'm hoping this album can last. I'm hoping it's one of those that stays in your, you know what I'm saying, in rotation and shit. That's kind of the way I designed it, you know. So but yeah, man, shout out to everybody that's been tapping in, bro. Shout out to everybody that inspires me. As always, shout out to the crib, everybody from the crib, man. Like, bro, this is really what puts the fucking the battery in my back. You know what I'm saying? All the MCs from the crib, not just the MCs, but everybody involved in this hip hop shit, bro. Because we all do this shit for the love. This is like some of the realest love shit. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
That's out there. Cause
Absolutely.
we do this shit for the love. Don't get it twisted, bro.
Absolutely.
Like we're not out here fucking getting paid super bread for this shit, bro. This is for the love. You know what I mean? So shout out to everybody that's doing this shit for the love. Straight up.
And just before we go, I think that's a perfect note to end on. Just before we go, shout out to the Real Gadget, Lex,
That's my guy,
Yayo,
Gadget. Yo, my group
Shakespeare,
ID4, that's the DJ, Gadget.
nice, Dashes Clay, Prototype, the artist, yeah, Mr. Miraglia. Thank you for everyone. Vega 7. Can't wait till we chop it up. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Shottie. Have a great night.
You a goat. Bye.
Peace.